Hi everyone, today we have a new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh release from IBG models. So this kit comes in a 1/72 scale, and that's something what I wanted to check a long time ago. It's Focke-Wulf 190D-9, so famous Dora in a small scale, and as you can see, this time we get the edition of the JABO STURM Rocket Hunter, and the kit number is 72544. Of course, we have a final shape of this kit, so it means you won't get something different from what you will see in this video review, and the box size is not that huge, so we have a nice box art here, and now you can see comparison with my hand. So the kit number I already said. The weight of the box is quite noticeable, so it will be interesting to open it in this video. Here you can see also other kits in the same scale, so we have other versions of the Focke-Wulf 190 as far as I can see, and on the opposite side you can see 3 marking options which are included here, so it's quite a decent choice for a 1/72 scale in my opinion. And of course nobody stops you from getting some aftermarket as well. So this is a top opening box, and here is what we have inside. As you can see, box is filled with various parts, and we are going to start with the things which are placed on the top. And by the way, these are resealable plastic bags, which is also quite cool. So straight away I can say that we will not be using any drawings here, so in case you're wondering how it goes against the famous drawings which are used in order to check the overall dimensions of this kit, I do not have them, so we will have to judge by what we see here. And the first thing here is, you can see, these are top wing panels, and here we have also the separate ailerons from what I can understand. We also get the nice external features, so if we zoom in even closer, and maybe I will bring it like that, you should be able to see that we have the riveting and recessed panel lines, so it should be quite decent details for the 1/72 scale aircraft. And by the way, note the attachment points here, they are quite thin, so it should be easy to separate them. And here you can also notice the pitot tube, which is pre-molded, so you have to be careful while working with these things. If I flip it over here, we can also notice that the wing edges, they are also serving as a guiding elements, and we also have some features for the main wheel wells, even though I'm not sure how it will be possible to expose them on your aircraft. And well, surprising thing here is that we get another halves for the wings, and I guess here we need only one set of parts. So these are the parts for the ammo bay from what I can understand, and the wings which we saw before probably will be used for today's version, but overall we have pretty much the same details here, and features look really great. And again, the attachment points are also thin, so it should be, I would say, easy to work with this and easy to separate those parts for further assembly. Next, we can check the lower wing half. So again, I'm going to open the plastic bag in a second. And with this one, why I'm confused, because this one is not resealable. So here you can see it with your own eyes. Now, this one is sealed plastic bag, so I'm going to cut through it in a second, and we will take a closer look once I open it. In the meantime, I can also remind you that we reviewed some other Focke-Wulf 190 kits from different brands. So in case you are a fan of bigger scale, or maybe you need a different version, you can also check it on our YouTube channel. Now I finally opened the plastic bag, so here you can see the lower wing half. So this one is molded together with the flaps, but still we have ailerons separately, so it might be handy for some diorama projects. And here you can also see the top fuselage cover for the gun bay, and also air intake is here, which should be assembled out of 2 hulls, so I'm not sure if some modelers will be happy to see such parts design, but that's something you won't be able to avoid unless we will see some aftermarket for this brand. And by the way, here you can see one piece propeller, and if we flip it over, I'm just checking for the guiding pins, but there are some guiding elements, but they are not exactly designed as a pins. They are designed as various tabs, and also, as you remember, wing edges, they will serve as positioning elements, so also quite a smart design. But here the pins are present on the air intake parts at least. Okay, next we continue with another plastic bag. This one is resealable again, so it's mix of various bags here, but we have quite an interesting thing here because IBG models, they included the engine here, so I guess there is a way to expose it unless it is some additional part which is needed, because I'm not seeing the separate cowling panels, and it means you'll have to cut some plastic in case you would like to expose it. But overall it looks quite decent, and of course it's always great to get the engine because you can decide later whether you would need it or not in your build, but you get it in the standard package. You don't have to buy something separately and invest additional money into the build. And here you can take a look from the opposite side, so everything looks decent and I do not see any possible issues with these parts. And again, I can see that there are some guiding elements which will help you with overall alignment of these things. And as the next plastic bag goes, so here we have bombs for the aircraft, and if I zoom in you can check them closer. So again, nice molding quality. Fuel tank should be assembled out of 2 parts as far as you can see, and bombs are molded. Actually, this is not a fuel tank, this is a bomb as well, as far as I remember. But those bombs, the smaller ones, are molded as a single piece elements, so it's also a good thing for this size of the parts. As you can see, they're smaller than my fingertip, so that's why it is important to get them as a single piece parts instead of something being assembled out of several sections. Next, I'm opening one more plastic bag with fuselage halves. So I will show it in a few moments. Here they are. So just to remind you, the Focke-Wulf 190D version is different from the famous A version because of its longer fuselage. That's why it's called so-called Langnasen-Dora, and what literally translates as a long-nosed door. So here you can see this new fuselage house, and note that both are molded together with the tail fin, and we also have nice external features. So if I bring it closer, so here you can see that we have nice rivets and recessed panel lines. The only thing which will be important is not to overdo the paint layers, because I think it will be easy to lose these details and especially damage them during sanding or something like that. And if we flip over this part, so here you can see some guiding elements for internal bits, and I'm not seeing the guiding pins, by the way. So for the fuselage, I guess the guiding elements or guiding pins will be replaced with the internals, which will be aligning the halves between each other. Next, I'm opening one more plastic bag. This one carries several versions of the top cowling cover and also gun bay cover from what I see. These are sprue P and S, so let's move this one to the side and I will show you those cowling covers. So here they are, and again, these parts look quite good. It's always nice to have this section of the aircraft molded as a single piece part, because it's the most noticeable and the most difficult to make it smooth, I would say. At least in my experience, it's always tricky to get the nice result without damaging something or, let's say, removing some of the pre-molded details. So it's always welcome to have this section of the aircraft as a single piece part. Next we have, I would say, one of the biggest sprues in this kit, so that's why maybe it's worth zooming in and checking what we have here. So as you can see, we have the tail wings, we also have the bombs for the aircraft, separate elevators, and here, by the way, you can see the cockpit floor, and there are some pre-molded features on this cockpit floor, but obviously you can add even more with some maybe PE parts, maybe also scratch building, who knows. Here we continue with ailerons, also 2 types of the frontal engine section, and here I'm not sure why we have the engine included when we have also this supplied in form of such part. Next we continue with landing gear legs, landing gear door covers, also landing gear wheels, which are molded as a single piece parts, and some of the interior parts, and everything looks clean and nice, especially for this scale. Let's not forget that we are dealing here with a 1/72 scale. So it's just a matter of getting all of these parts together and maybe again thinking on how to bring a bit more features into the cockpit, because this cockpit, it doesn't matter whether you will be opening the canopy or not. Now, large canopy actually allows the viewer to see what is inside, so that's why it's worth investing your time and skills into the additional features. Next, we have here the clear plastic sprue. It was packed into separate plastic bag again, and of course we can open the canopy with help of those parts. So it's just a matter of the careful painting. And as for the painting, I'm not sure if we actually get the masks included here, so we will have to check more of the things in the box. And last but not the least is the sprue A. So let's not zoom out, first check all of the parts closer. So here we have 3 types of the propeller hubs, and this definitely hints on future versions of this aircraft. We also have some parts for the main wheel wells, for the cockpit here, and few tanks are actually supplied here. Next, we continue with tail landing gear parts, also the engine parts. So these are engine mounts as far as you can see, and we have several versions of them. I guess that's also some space for the future options which will be released separately. And next, I'm going to open another plastic bag, because here I can see we have a nice little surprise from IBG. So just give me a moment, because I'm doing it upside down. I don't know why, but opening the plastic bag this way is not that easy. Okay, so what we have here is something what I was not expecting in the standard package, but it's something what will definitely come handy. So let's move this sprue to the side. And here is something what I am talking about. This is the unpainted P thread. It will come handy for fine features on your aircraft. As you can see, we have also some parts for the cockpit as well as for the exterior. So definitely a good thing to have in the standard package. And I think some modelers will be happy to get it without spending extra money. Next, we have decals. So decals are printed in tech mode, and there are actually 2 decal sheets. This one is specific for today's version, so I will close the lenses so that it won't be that bright for you. Here you can see all the necessary symbols for 3 markings, as you remember. And if you wonder where are the stencils, so they are supplied, I would say, on universal decal sheet. Here we have the stencils. We also get the cockpit decals here, and this is really cool because some modelers are fine with the decals, and that's definitely something what will be more or less sufficient if you are building a standard out-of-the-box model project in 1/72 scale. Next, we have the assembly manual. So here I will have to zoom out a bit, because it's a large cover printed brochure with a history note on the first page. And this is actually, I would say, a history article about this aircraft. As you can see, it's written in 2 languages, but still it's something to check, especially if you are not that familiar with this aircraft type. Next, we continue with the parts map. Note that this section does not show which parts are unused. Here we continue with some tips on how to paint the interior parts, including the engine, which is quite cool. And of course, assembly process starts with an engine. Next, we continue with the cockpit. And here, by the way, you can see that we use decals for the side consoles and instrument panel, but the seat belts will be made out of PE, obviously. Next, we continue also with the machine gun section. So all of this stuff gets connected together with the cockpit, and also this large spar for the main wheel wells, and then we start joining the fuselage hubs together. I can see also some P parts are used for the stenciling, and next we also have to modify some of the edges here. So overall, I can see a lot of internals are actually going inside. So it's more of a question how to expose it, because as you can see here on the next stage, we actually just installed the frontal section of the Cowling, and that's pretty much all. So the engine will be just hidden inside, unless you choose to modify the original Cowling panels, somehow cut them in the way in order to display them as the open position, I would say. Next we continue with the flaps, and no, these are not flaps, these are actually the rockets. And also we assemble the canopy. Here we install the antenna, and you can open or close the canopy on your aircraft. Here we have also some resin add-ons which are made by IBG. I can see they're actually 3D printed, but as you can see, some of the visible spots will be updated with those parts, so definitely something to consider. Next we continue with the stencils placement guide. I guess this one is universal for all of the marking options. Here you can see first two marking options. Obviously they are from the last month of the war, so that's why it's written here May 1945. And here is another one also from 1945, but this time from April. So 3 markings in total, and overall I think it's a quite interesting kit, even though this is not definitely a model which I would recommend to beginners due to a lot of internals, but I think professional modelers will be able to get a nice result. And as usual, you can get the IBG models kits on their website as well as in some good model shops. And do not forget to write your opinion about such a release. You can write it here in the comment section below. And if you like this video, press the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.